Hello, everybody, and welcome to the World Changing Podcast. This is Jordan Rosario, and today I wanted to come up with a new, I guess, what you call a series. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but my plan for this particular video and all subsequent videos moving forward is to show you specifically what I'm doing trade by trade that I enter into the Forex market. So there's a few trades that I took starting with today, Friday. And the reason I wanted to go ahead and broadcast it and, well, not broadcast it necessarily, but go ahead and start creating YouTube videos for it is because I first wanted to go ahead and show it is possible to do this with a $100 account. Not only that, but I want to make sure we go ahead and we get a live account going so that everybody knows that what we're doing here is indeed real. And there are going to be times where we get trades right, we get trades wrong. It doesn't matter. But what I really want to go ahead and do is show you the process and the mindset I have in terms of what I do with each of my trades. So to start off, we're going to go ahead and take a look at our first trade right here, which was a buy for gold. And this happened at about 5 o'clock this morning for me, Mountain Time. And as we see, we went ahead and we got into this particular candle right over here. So looking at where I'm at right now, so the entry, right? So let's start with the entry. The entry would have been at 1835.12. Now go ahead and I'll make that a gray line for everybody. So let's go ahead and let's do that. Is there a gray color? Yes, we will use that one right there. So 1835.12 was the entry. Now, whenever I go into a trade, and you'll see this a lot more as we move forward through these particular trades that we take a look at, there's always three things. There's always three targets, or maybe not targets, but price points that I'm focusing on. Of course, we need to make sure that we have a stop loss that is on our trade. So the stop loss I'm going to identify as my red line right here. Now for this particular pair, I went ahead and based off of the last market structure right here. So looking at our swing low, I understood that the swing low would be right at about this particular area right over here. So that would be around 1834.35. Now that is about 100 points away from my initial entry mark. So I put in the back of my head that I wanted to make sure that I have at least a stop loss of 150 points. So what that will look to us specifically is our particular stop loss would be at 18. And that would be 33.62. So I'll go ahead and I'll put that right down below. Bear with me. So my stop loss would be at 1833.62. Now for take profit, what I'm looking for is a 7-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So moving forward for each and every trade, my big home run trades, if you will, are going to be at a 7-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So understanding that if 150 points is the stop loss, and my take profit needs to be at 1,050 points. So I would go ahead and I would put this particular guy at 1845.62 because that would be 1,050 points. So it'll be right at there, and we'll go ahead and we'll magnify this a little bit for everybody since we're not going to see the stop loss line. So it'd be right over there is where my take profit would be. Now I also look at what I call the break even point. So that is going to be identified by an orange line, and essentially that is going to be at where my trade will go up to 1R. And 1R for us, whenever we look at our trades, is going to be the same distance away from our stop loss. So, no, our stop loss is 150 points. So my break even point line would also be at 150 points. So I'd put that at 1836.62, just like that, make that an orange line. And so we would go ahead and that would be where my line would be. So let's go ahead and let's follow this particular trade along. So we started, right? We started at 1835.12. Here is our trade right at this particular point right here. And then we go ahead and as we follow along, we went down a little bit. Now this candle got close to the stop loss right here. It was about just 5 points away from hitting the stop loss. So we would have gone ahead and we would have exited that trade if it hit the stop loss, but it did not get to that particular point. So as we go along, still very close to the stop loss line. And then ultimately it got past our what I like to call open line or open area. So now for a little bit, then it went down briefly and then it went up. As we could see, it got all the way up to our what I like to call break even point line, right? So once I've identified that our trade is at that particular point, what I would do next is I would move my stop loss all the way to my entry so that it's a zero risk-free trade. Put that right there. And then I'd go ahead and I would actually put this at the next 150 point marker. Now, we're going to get into the reason why all this is done, but just know that now that our that line has been broken, we go ahead and we move the line upwards a little bit. So we keep going, and then ultimately we get down to our stop loss line or a break even line that we'll call it. And ultimately we go ahead and we exit this trade and we look for the next one. So on this particular trade right here, my first trade that we're covering, we would consider this a break even trade. We did not win anything, nor did we lose anything. So with that being said, everybody, this is going to be us documenting the trading journey moving forward, seeing what particular trades we are going to be taking. And I look forward to covering the next one with you guys. Everybody, be great, be favored, and be the person that you desire and that you're destined to become. Thank you.